I'm going to talk about Austria. Now, Austria, of course, have had a bit of a checkered past in the contest, but they have won. They have had some victories. So, Tom, why don't you just remind us of the times that Austria have lifted their fabulous Eurovision trophy?
Merci, merci, merci pour tous besos, Cherie, Cherie. I'm gonna fly like a phoenix out of the ashes, seeking revenge.
So there we are, 2 victories to the name. Most recently, Conchita Wurst in 2014, obviously very iconic victory for a multitude of reasons. But now, 2020, new decade, what are Austria doing? Well, they are sending Vincent Bueno. He was announced quite early on in November or December time, but only on Wednesday we finally got his entry, so now we can talk about it. This is the Austrian entry for 2020. It is Vincent Bueno with the song Alive. And Tom, hit the play button.
You make me feel alive. You make me feel like I'm alive again. Alive again. Only you can make me feel alive again. Alive again.
So there we are, there's a snippet of Alive by Vincent Bueno. No stranger to Eurovision. He tried to represent them in 2016 with the song All We Need Is That Love. Sadly, didn't make the top 3 in that selection, losing out to Luan DC. Not mad about that. Austria was my win in 2016. But the following year, he was a backing vocalist to his good friend Nathan Trent with Running On Air. So he has done Eurovision before, but now the stage is all his with Alive. Fun fact about Vincent Bueno is he's the first ever artist in recent memory that has got Filipino descent. So he is breaking new grounds, being the first Filipino to step onto the Eurovision stage. Ian, how do you feel about this and the entry in general?
This is why I'm here.
Really?
It's not the first Filipino to be in Eurovision. Actually, it's one half of the sisters from Germany.
Oh.
So okay, so let's go to my review. Actually, the fandom, we have a Eurovision group here in the Philippines, is quite happy with the song. It's very Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlake. I think he's gonna dance it off in the final, in the semifinal first. We're really disappointed though. There's no Filipino lyrics, but I think if he had like a Filipino version of it, will be. I am though giving myself like whispering a dream that if he is very smart, he's gonna promote it outside of Europe, specifically in the Philippines, and what he'll do is like promote it here. He'll go home. He'll with the coronavirus, I don't know if he's gonna go home, but because there are a lot of OFWs in Europe, and I think if he captures that market, he gets a lot of televotes in the semifinals. The plan is just to win the semifinals and get there, because I don't think this will be top 10 in the final.
Okay, now Gemma, you have said multiple times in this program you love a song you can dance and move to. Does this song make you want to dance and move?
Oh my god. Okay. So when this guy got announced months ago, I was like, I don't know who this person is. I didn't do any research into knowing what kind of songs he sings normally. So I was expecting a really slow song. Don't know why. That was just the marketing I got from all these socials. So this song came out and I was like, wait on, what? What's this banger that's just come out? Oh, I am so happy. I love this. I don't care where it comes. I just want to dance to it.
So, just for reference, every single time this song is played, anywhere where it's ESC radio, the London Eurovision, Gemma will be dancing in some form of capacity. Yeah, no, are you bopping side to side alongside Gemma?
Well, not as hard, I think, but yeah, it's kind of. I thought at first it was kind of okay, but I'm starting to like it a little bit more now. It's yeah.
think it will qualify. Shouldn't be a problem for Austria to qualify. But I don't know how it will do in the final. I think it's kind of mid-table, 10, 15.
Okay. And Martin, obviously the song and the music video, Vincent has a lot of energy. He's dancing a lot. There's a lot of rhythmical changes. What are you expecting staging-wise to come from Austria and this song this year?
Well, he seemed to be dancing, or getting the move on quite well. But obviously, there's some bits in the video a bit weird because you had all these masked people as well. So as long as they don't go all humans on us from Romania, then it should be okay. But maybe just get a few dancers around him and really go for it. But I really love the video because it starts sort of initially quite slow. You think, oh, what we're going to get here, sort of very slow song, and then bam, wow, and excellent, loved it. I don't know, my sort of thing, I graded things for a jury for various places, and my phrase was, give him a bigger hat and Vincent is JK from Jamiroquai, because that's sort of what reminded me of sort of that style of music. And but I'm really impressed with this, and it's going to be, it's in semi-final 2, which is a bit of, when you look at what's in it, it's so mixed and so many different styles of entries there that this just adds to it. So I think semi-final 2 is going to be, as a spectacle, and watching it, you're going to be thinking, wow, this is a great variety of music. So
okay. Now, Stuart, Martin's just mentioned Jamiroquai there. Another song, and it's not only its semi-final, it's half, is Iceland, which you compare to very much a Jamiroquai sound. Do you think that's going to potentially damage Vincent because if he's the same sort of artist comparison there?
So I don't love this song as much as my co-panelists. It's okay to me. That's as much as I can be that positive about it. It sounds pretty generic, I think is probably a good word to use. I'm ignoring the comment, Tom. Stop drawing my attention to it. Oh, somewhere out there she still looks for me.
Can we just
How do I still love you?
Can we just allow long-term viewers, just like, or even people who joined us this year, just in on this, that Panda, having met Stuart at the London Eurovision party and Eurovision in concert, where she turned up the second time round with a signed album for him, also gave him a personalised birthday message on the Facebook as well.
Don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, let's move on.
So you're not loving this, basically. You're not loving it as much as Jid Limits.
So, no, I feel if I stop there, that's going to draw the wrong conclusion to what I'm about to say. It draws comparisons with Jamiroquai, Martin Spot On, Justin Timberlake, Bruno Mars. However, I get more Zoli Aduk vibes from Hungary from a few years ago with Dance With Me. I get more of that than I do some of these others. I saw a comment somewhere that Guy Sebastian's Tonight Again is quite similar. I don't see it. He's a good singer. Vincent Bueno is a very good singer. He's a good performer. This is a type of song which needs the right choreography to put it over the line. Otherwise, I think there is a chance this may not qualify. It should qualify because we need bangers at Eurovision, and there are very limited choice of bangers this year. But I'm not sure how this is going to do. And let's face it, Austria, with a good song last year, "Panda, I Still Love You," did really badly in the semi-final. It didn't qualify and should have. So who knows?
Yeah. Hello. I do agree with you that it needs a choreography. I think they're working on it. I think they hired a group of dancers to do the choreography. Anyways, the mass, I think it is a callback to Jabberwocky, if you know Americans Got Talent, because they are also a Filipino group.
Okay.
So I think that's hard to say back.
I'm going to jump in and just say I remember watching the 2016 national selection where Vincent actually opened that national selection, and I would be shocked if he doesn't open this semi-final, to be honest, because I always say in Eurovision you need a safe opener for people sitting down for the first time who've not heard these songs. You don't want something to scare them off. And I think this will ease people in because it sounds quite modern than now. Vincent is a good singer. He is a good dancer while singing. He can move around and interact with the crowd as he did in 2016. So I think that's not going to be a worry. I like this song. I do find myself bopping along to it. Probably not as hard as Gemma, but at the same time, it's just on, and I just find myself moving along to the beat of it involuntarily. So that must be a good thing, surely. I see potential with this. I think Vincent will do a very good job, and you know the fact he has done it as a backing vocalist, tried to go for himself before. It's clear he wants to do this. He knows what he's getting himself into, and I think that's a massive mental advantage as well. The fact you know what you're doing going into this sort of thing. But Tom, what do you think? Round this out for us.
Well, Jamiroquai, an artist of the 90s. I love the 90s. I love this song. I think it's great. I think it stands out. I think it would be wrong to open the show with this. I think it needs to be placed actually towards the end of the semi-final. I think it's bound to get Rotterdam up and dancing. I think there's a really nice, cool beat to it. And I think there is a real opportunity here for Austria to do really well. I think it was a shame last year that Panda didn't qualify, although ultimately, in context, probably, you know, the right decision, because it was a beautiful song, but unfortunately I don't think it translated as well as it could have done when you watched it live on TV. This, I think, is going to make Rotterdam go with a bang. And I think, hashtag banger, it is going to be brilliant. And I think it's going to get through to the final. And I think it's going to be challenging up there, probably. I suspect bottom half of the top 10 when the shakedown happens.
Yeah.
Okay, you said it needs to like go near the end of the semi-final, but sorry to break your heart, Tom. It's in the first half. It can't go near the end of the semi-final because they're the rules. It's stuck in this first half.
It can go in the middle then, can't it? We'll go to the end of their section.
Well, Tom has already said it could get top 10. I think he's going to say top 10 for all 41 songs at this rate. But let's go to the rest of the panel. So firstly, will it qualify and make the top 10 on the semi-final? And where do you think it will do in the final if it gets there? I'm going to be brutal and say I think it should open the show. I think it's a good show opener. I still think it will marginally get through between like 8th and 10th because Austria very rarely are up high apart from Conchita and Zoe. And that's because there's something special about them. I just think that's lacking that little spark. So I think it'll qualify just. And if it does, again, mid-table, probably about Nathan Trent, which was 17th or 18th or so. Gemma, how do you think Vincent Bueno can do realistically?
So it will be qualifying. I'll vote myself. I do, however, think it's probably going to come middle ground if it was to qualify. Okay,
Jana?
Well, I think it'll be a good idea, like you said, to let it open the show. I think if they do that, they have a big chance to qualify. They already do, I think. And then maybe 10th, 15th place.
Okay. Ian, how do you feel it can do, Ian?
Okay, so the goal here is to qualify, I think. Going mid-table, getting top 10 is the icing on the cake for me.
Okay. Martin, with your jury hat on, as you said earlier, how do you think this will do?
I'd like to think it qualifies, but in semi-final 2, you've got Kamama for a start. Is like there, Chains on You's there, Hasta La Vista's there, Supergirl's there. So there's lots of up-tempo, mid-tempo, bangers, or what would be in the pop charts at the moment. So hopefully it will get through to the final because I've got it 8th place in my top at the moment. But I could see that possibly if it doesn't click on the night, that it might miss out. If it does get through to the final, I think it's probably another sort of mid-table one again.
Okay. And I know we did put in the chat, would it qualify? Not everyone seems quite positive. Everyone's saying yes, it will qualify. We've got ESC Matt saying it'll get about 12th. And yeah, so everyone seems positive. Stuart, are you sharing this positivity with Vincent Bueno's chances? Will we see him on the Saturday evening?
So despite what I said, I have him pretty much the same as everybody else. I have between 8th and 15th in the semi-final. So there you go. So I think there's a chance he'll qualify, but I also think there's a chance he won't. And probably on the balance of probability, there's a greater chance he won't. But he might. And What do I know? I get it wrong every year. Fuck it.
That's because you put money on it. That's how you get it wrong. You're so confident you slap a tenner on, and that is the kiss of death. It's like when Tom admits he likes a song. Boom, instantly eliminated from a semi-final.
I just want a couple of bangers, the same as Martin.
We have some.
The first two, we've got Chains on You. We've got what was the other one you mentioned, Martin?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Serbia, Czech
There you
Republic,
go.
Greece. There's many actually up-tempo songs in this half.
We were
alone,
washed
actually.
with bangers in that semi-final, which is the concern, I would say.
Iceland is there as well.
For the record, that Stuart always manages to win money on the winner at Eurovision. And that's because he puts a bet on every single country.
I was going to say, is it because he just like covers every single base possible?
Yeah.
But it is safe to say we think Vincent's qualification chances are very much alive. And of course, you know, the best of luck to Vincent and the entire ORF delegation. As we know, Stuart became very good friends with them last year in Panda. So we speak very highly of them here at ESC Fan TV. But that is Austria done and dusted.